Hi, everyone.
Welcome. We're really glad you're here. And we want to start with something super simple. If you clicked on this, there's usually a reason. People don't end up here by accident. And most of the time, it's because something's been sitting in the back of your mind for a while and you just can't ignore it anymore.
Yeah, maybe you're tired. Not like tired you need a nap, tired like you've been carrying the same routine for years. You wake up, you do the day, you do work, you take care of everyone else, and somehow still time and money are always tight.
Yeah, or maybe you're not even struggling financially. Maybe you're doing fine, but you're realizing that fine isn't the same as free and you want more freedom. Maybe you're a mom and you've been searching for something that lets you contribute from home without feeling like you're missing your kids' lives and you want another income stream that actually fits into your life.
Yeah, or maybe you're working a 9 to 5 and you're just being honest with yourself. It's not that you hate your job, it's that you don't love how tied to it you feel. And then there's the retirement crowd. If that's you, you're probably thinking retirement is closer than it used to be and everything costs more than it used to.
Yeah, because let's just say the quiet part out loud. The economy is changing.
Yeah.
Life is feeling expensive, and one income stream doesn't stretch the way it used to.
Yeah, and we don't care how responsible you are. The truth is, you can do everything right and still feel that pressure.
Yeah, so if you're here because you're wanting more options, more control, more breathing room, more flexibility in your life, and an income stream that isn't 100% tied to your time, you're exactly in the right place.
And just so we're clear before we start, there's no pressure here. This is simply about showing you how this works and letting you decide if it makes sense for you.
Okay, here's what we're gonna do next together. We're gonna walk you through a system that's been running for nearly a decade, and it's helped thousands of everyday people create real income online. And you guys, we're gonna be real with you. This is not a get rich tomorrow type of business or press a button and magically make $1 million. This is a real system that when it's followed, it can create real shifts for you.
Yeah, and by the end of this, you're going to understand how money is actually made and the foundations of our system, why this is different than other online random side hustles, what your role is and what you're not responsible for, what supports you're going to get so you're not left guessing, and you're also going to learn the next steps and why they're there so that you can look at this logically and decide what's best for you.
So before we go any further, we want to take a minute to introduce ourselves because we never want this to feel like you're learning from complete strangers. So we're sisters, we're from Alberta, Canada, and I'm Cherie.
And I'm Ashley.
And you guys, not long ago, our lives looked completely different than they do today.
Yeah.
And the reason we share this part is because we know how important it is to understand who you're learning from and whether or not they've actually been where you are and are where you want to go.
Yeah, and neither of us came from business backgrounds. We weren't entrepreneurs. We weren't influencers. We're just normal people who were trying to figure out how to create more stability and more control over our lives. For me personally, I had just gone through a divorce before starting this business, and that was one of the seasons where, for me, everything felt uncertain. I remember feeling like my bank account was just dictating my life, what I could afford, what I couldn't afford, and what kind of life I was able to live. And I mean, I was working hard. I was doing what I was supposed to be doing, but it felt like I still couldn't get ahead. And that feeling of financial instability was overwhelming. I knew I needed something different, but I didn't know what that was yet.
Yeah, and for me, I was working a traditional 9 to 5 job in the school system, and from the outside, it looked like everything was fine, but behind the scenes, I was constantly feeling rushed, stressed, and stretched thin.
Yeah.
I was trying to be present for my girls, show up fully at work, and manage everything at home behind the scenes as well, and it felt like everything was falling apart and I was always falling short somewhere. I felt like I couldn't be the type of mom I wanted to be, and I couldn't be the type of employee I wanted to be either. Deep down, I just so badly wanted to be home with my girls. I wanted that flexibility, but I knew that I needed a way to create income from home because living on one income didn't feel realistic without constant stress and penny pinching.
Yeah, so we started looking for alternatives, and honestly, we looked into so many things.
All the
Fulfillment
things.
by Amazon, Etsy stores, Shopify, MRR. We almost even started a cleaning business, and we weren't afraid of hard work and effort, but everything either felt overwhelming or too expensive to start, or we felt like we were starting from scratch and we didn't know actually how it would work.
Yeah, and then we found this business model. And what really stood out to us was that the structure already existed. The system was built for us, and the training and the mentorship were already in place. So we weren't being asked to invent anything, and we were just going to be shown exactly what to do with a proven system.
Yeah, and because of this system, both of us had been able to retire in our 30s, and we no longer have that financial stress. We don't have to go to jobs that we don't love anymore. And we've created a life with stability, travel, and more options.
Yeah, you guys, and like we said, this is not a get rich quick type of business. If anyone does promise you overnight results, you should run the other either way.
Yeah.
Our first payday here was $440, and we had our first 5-figure monthly income 18 months in. And now, with consistent effort, we're each earning 6 figures a year through this system. This isn't just our story. This system has been used by thousands and thousands of people in different countries, different ages, different backgrounds, and different stages of life. And as you can see, it works. These are all real users of our platform here.
Yeah, and this isn't personality based where only extroverts thrive. It isn't only for influencers. And you guys, it isn't luck. It's a proven blueprint that works when you work it. And during this presentation, you're going to hear real stories of people seeing success using this exact system.
Yeah, and this is a mini webinar, so you're not going to be here forever. What this is meant to do is be clear and not overwhelming, and we're going to keep it high level, but still detailed enough that you can actually understand what you're looking at here.
Yeah, and so here's the core idea. So most people want to make money online, but they run into the same problems. And those problems are typically they don't have a product or a service to sell, they don't have a system to sell it, and they don't have mentorship and coaching to see success. And they end up posting and hoping, buying random courses, or trying to piece things together on their own, and then nothing really changes.
Yeah, you guys, and honestly, that's why so many people fail. Not because they're not capable or smart enough, but because they're trying to figure it out all alone and as they go without a clear roadmap, or they just don't start because it feels completely overwhelming. This is different. So this is a business in a box, meaning the structure exists, the system exists, the training and mentorship exist, and the company partnerships and products are already in place. The drop shipping is there, and the product fulfillment is handled for you also.
Yeah, you're not starting from scratch, and every successful online business, no matter what industry, comes down to 3 pillars. If you miss one of these pillars, the whole thing becomes much harder than it needs to be. So we're going to walk you through these 3 pillars quickly so you have a good grasp on the foundational principles that this system is built on.
So the 3 pillars are, number 1, a product or a service. Number 2, a proven sales system. And number 3, getting the right people to see it.
Okay, let's dive deeper into each of these pillars. Okay, so the first pillar is simple. You need a product or service people already want. And honestly, this is where most people get stuck when thinking about creating income online because they typically don't have a product and they don't have a service and they don't even know what they would sell. And the truth is, without a product or service, there's nothing to earn from. And a lot of people assume that they need to invent something from scratch or create their own course, build a brand, or figure out shipping and logistics. And that alone stops most people from ever getting started.
Yeah, or potentially they've tried things before. Maybe they bought a course and didn't know what to do next. Maybe they opened an Etsy store but couldn't get the traffic coming there. Maybe they tried drop shipping, affiliate links, or selling something on social media and nothing really came from it.
Yeah.
And that's not because income online isn't real, but because they didn't have the right system, structure, and support behind them. And that can feel frustrating when you're putting in time and energy and nothing is coming from it.
Yeah, and here's the part that's already handled. So we have partnered with established companies that already have these things in place. So they have real products people are actively buying, proven demand and long-standing track records, drop shipping, product fulfillment, and customer support fully in place. For example, when someone orders, the company processes the payment, ships the products, and supports the customer directly. You're not touching inventory or managing logistics.
Yeah, so you're not inventing something from scratch. You're not buying inventory up front or packing your garage full of boxes. That entire side is handled by the companies we partner with. So naturally, you must be asking, okay, cool. So how do I actually get paid then? And that's a great question.
Yeah, so the model behind this is called affiliate marketing. And simply put, affiliate marketing is when a company pays you a commission for generating a sale. And so instead of hiring massive internal sales teams, companies partner with independent affiliates, people like you, and pay commissions when sales happen through the system. And this exists everywhere.
Yeah, so for example, think about Amazon. They pay people who recommend their products. Travel companies pay commissions for people who refer bookings. Even banks pay referral bonuses when you bring in new clients. And this is the same type of concept, just applied within a really structured system.
Yeah, and this is important to understand. Affiliate marketing alone doesn't guarantee results, because even if commissions exist, you still need something critical. You need a system that turns interest into actual sales, and that's exactly what Pillar 2 is about.
So the second pillar is the sales system. This is where most people fail online because they don't know the ins and the outs of sales systems, and they try to wing it themselves without any sales training, or they pay thousands and thousands of dollars to someone else to build the systems for them.
Yeah, so let's talk about sales funnels for a second. Within this platform, we provide your whole sales funnel for you. And if you don't even know what a sales funnel is, that's totally okay. We didn't either. And our training will teach you everything inside of our program.
So let's break it down super simply for you. A sales funnel is just a guided path that someone takes, and it's going to take them through these steps from being curious to learning to understanding and seeing the value, all the way to making a purchasing decision.
Yeah, and this is where the business in a box piece really matters because it's all set up and run for you. And we have experts that have built this sales funnel from scratch, and it processes $500 million in sales globally each year. In other words, it's already built, it's already tested and working for thousands, and you get to plug in and utilize it for yourself.
Yeah, and our back-end tech experts are going to handle your sales funnel being built and managed, all of your email campaigns that go out, the follow-up that happens, the product explanation, and the closing process that happens in the system.
Yeah, so you're not sitting there trying to think, what do I say? You're not trying to be a salesperson. People are guided through the information at their own pace. They can watch, they can read, think, and then decide. And when a sale happens inside your sales funnel, a commission is generated for you.
Yeah, so if pillar 1 is the offer, pillar 2 is the conversion system, then pillar 3 is getting the right people to see the offer. Okay, let's dive deeper into this. So the system teaches intentional traffic, meaning you're going to learn how to use social media and the internet, where people are already spending so much of their time, to get your offer in front of people. And most people these days are using their phones only to consume. But with this, we're teaching you how to use the internet to create income.
Yeah, and it is a skill. It takes learning and practice, but it is absolutely completely learnable. And we want to address the biggest fears that might be happening right now. So no, you don't need a huge following, and no, you don't need to be an influencer, and no, this is not cold messaging everybody you know or relying on your family and friends to make sales.
Yeah, if that's what this was, we would not be doing it.
No.
So I know what you're probably thinking. Okay, I get the structure, but how do I actually learn this? Like, what do I do first? So we're glad you're thinking that way, because it's the right question to ask next.
Yeah.
So you're not just going to be given a system and told, good luck, have fun,
No,
right?
not at all.
There's a full training site that walks you through everything step by step in order, A to Z. So you're not left guessing or figuring it out on your own.
Yeah, what you're going to do is you're going to receive coaching and mentorship from people who are already seeing success inside this system. So when questions come up, and they will, you're going to have the right support in place to keep moving forward. And you're going to have people who can say to you, yep, that's totally normal. Here's what you do next. Here's what actually matters. Here's what doesn't matter.
Okay, now we want to really clarify what your role is. So your job is to drive traffic into the sales funnel, and you're going to do that through simple ads and free organic marketing on social media. There's over 5 billion people on social media, and it's the best place to find traffic.
Yeah.
So we teach you exactly how to make these ads, how to post them to make sure they're successful. Then the funnel educates, explains, follows up, and guides them through the information and closes the sale for you.
Yeah, so the pressure is not on you to be an expert or do all of the repetitive back-end work. You are not convincing anyone here. What your role is you're plugging into a proven structure, a proven business model, and this matters because it means introverts can do this, busy moms can do this, people with zero experience can do this, and people who aren't salesy can do this.
Yeah, and just so that it's crystal clear, most people start this with no tech skills, no marketing background, no online business experience, and that's normal, and it's why our training site and mentorship program exists. So it's guided implementation, not trial and error. You're going to learn your role in detail inside our training site from 6- and 7-figure earners who have already figured this out and are successfully doing it.
Yeah, and it's totally normal if you're thinking right now, like, is this actually for me? What if I'm not techie and I've never ran ads before? Or what if I don't have confidence yet? And here's the truth. So most people who start are complete beginners. We definitely were. And you don't have to start confident. What happens is you become confident through repetition and support.
Yeah, and all you need to do is be coachable and willing to learn the skills of driving traffic into your sales funnel through simple ads and promoting.
Now, another question you might have, and it is a good question, is this legitimate? And yes, it is. This is a real commission-based business model. So when commissions are earned through our company affiliates, they are reportable income. This isn't under the table or untracked income. If your country issues a tax slip, you will be issued one for all of your commissions.
Yeah, exactly. So, for example, in Canada, commissions are reported on a T4A. In the US, commissions are reported on a 1099. And in other countries, you receive equivalent documentation if they have them. So, this is another important layer to show transparency and legitimacy. And you guys, nothing can be sketchy when you're required to report your income to the government. And this is important to understand, you guys. So this is not a franchise where you need to spend $100,000 to start. It's not going back to school and spending years and tens of thousands of dollars on a degree. It's not putting huge amounts into real estate, and it's not holding inventory, shipping products, or managing logistics.
Yeah, this is fully online and portable, and you build it from home. You can do it while traveling or alongside your current life, and it's built around high ticket commissions, meaning a single sale has the potential to generate meaningful income without needing massive volume.
Yeah, and it's global, long-standing, and beginner-friendly. The structure exists, the system exists, and the training and mentorship program is there. You're not starting from scratch. You're simply stepping into this proven model that's already been built, and you're learning how to use it. What we're going to do now is transition into hearing from real people who were once sitting exactly where you are now. And what you're about to see, it's not polished influencers or people with some huge advantage. Yeah. These are just everyday people, you guys.
Yeah, and this isn't about bragging at all. This is about giving you tangible proof that it works. Because when you're considering an opportunity like this, what really matters is knowing, can people actually make this work? And the answer to that question is why we want you to see these stories.
Yes, so these are people who were once exactly where you are. They were feeling unsure, very curious, a little skeptical, hopeful, and they decided to plug into this program. And they're just real everyday users of our platform who've done the work, followed this blueprint, and they're seeing results.
Yeah, and it's proof that it works for real everyday people like you, like us. So let's hear from them now.
Hi, my name is Tori, and I am from Calgary, Alberta, and I'm a mom to two beautiful baby girls and a former teacher because of this business. My journey really started after a long, painful infertility battle, and for a long time, all I wanted was to be a mom, and I really wasn't sure if that was ever going to happen for me. So during that season of life, I poured everything I had into teaching. I was the first at the school, the last to leave. I coached every team, and I truly went above and beyond for everybody else's kids. And in that season, that was really fulfilling to me. And then my miracle baby arrived and my priorities shifted almost overnight. I knew I wanted to be home with her, but I didn't get things in place fast enough. So I took my mat leave and then I returned to teaching, and I very quickly felt the weight of working full-time as a mom. My paycheck was going straight to childcare, and I was missing all the milestones, including her first steps. So when miracle baby number 2 came along, I knew without a doubt that I had to find a way to earn from home. And it was at that time that I reconnected with a friend who introduced me to this business, and I immediately saw the potential. I saw a proven system being used by people from all walks of life. There were other teachers, nurses, doctors, tradespeople, and I thought, if this can work for them, why not me? And I dove in at the end of January 2023, and within the year, I replaced my teaching income. I extended my mat leave to 18 months, and then I was able to take a full year leave of absence. And during that time, I began doubling, tripling, and even quadrupling what I could earn in the classroom while being home with my kids. So choosing to officially resign from teaching wasn't scary. It was easy because I wasn't choosing a business. I was choosing my family. Now that I'm a mom who does the school drop-offs and the pickups, and I'm at every field trip and every concert and every event, and I don't miss a moment and I don't miss a milestone, I'm beyond grateful for what this business has done for my family. And I now, as a coach, get to help others create the same kind of freedom and change their financial futures for their family. It's truly a blessing, and I am so thankful for this business every single day.
Hi, I'm Jennifer. I'm from BC, Canada. I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I'm a grandma, I'm a school bus driver of over 17 years, and I run this digital business right alongside my school bus driving job. I started this in 2024, and I started it after I had been on a medical leave. While I was on that medical leave, it made me start thinking about my retirement because I was getting limited income, and it didn't feel good. And I thought, if this is what it's going to be like to retire, I really need to do something different. When I first started checking this out, I saw people here who were retiring early, who were earning, extra income, and who were able to own their time. And I thought, that is exactly what I want. I was super skeptical and really nervous about starting this because in my 50s, I wasn't sure whether or not I could do this. But the training and the support has been absolutely incredible. I wanted to find something that I could build while I'm still working, something that I could take with me into my retirement. And with this platform, it's global, so I can work this from absolutely anywhere. And you don't have to be glued to your phone to do this business, because with my job, I definitely cannot be glued to my phone. I just fit this in throughout my day where it fits me. So far, my biggest one-day pay has been just over $6,800, and that to me is completely mind-blowing because that would take me over a couple months to earn that at my regular job. So to think that I can do that from home is incredible. When I actually started this business, I went on to a second medical leave. I had my other hip replaced, and during that time I had this business, and it was absolutely a game changer. I was able to earn while I was at home, actually bedridden, so it showed me the value of this. One thing having this business has taught me is the value of having a second stream of income. We can have the best intentions to plan to work until we're 65, but things can happen. Our health can change, or we could lose our jobs, and then we're left going, now what? So having this second stream of income brings you such peace of mind and such security. When I first started this, I was hoping to bring in an extra $500 or $1,000 a month, just something that would help out with life's expenses. This past year, this business has allowed me to out-earn my regular job, which is incredible to me. So if you are looking for a way to increase your earnings or be able to prepare for your retirement, just look into this. Reach out to the person who invited you here. Have your coaching call, get all your answers so that you can make an informed decision. Thanks for listening.
Hi, I'm Rachel. I'm a wife, mom of two, and HR professional from Ontario, Canada. And while I was on my second maternity leave, something really shifted in me. I absolutely loved being at home with my babies, but I also felt that pull to contribute financially as well. I wanted flexibility, and I also wanted control over my time. That's when I came across two sisters from Alberta building a digital business online. And for 18 months, I watched them quietly. I was curious, I was skeptical, I was feeling inspired by them. But even after that, after my leave ended, I went back to my HR job, and reality hit so fast. The early mornings, the daycare drop-offs, I just felt like I was juggling everything. So after researching what felt like every single online opportunity out there, I finally stopped watching from the sidelines and I jumped into this opportunity. I watched the free webinar, I paid the $149 USD, I went through the training, and I booked and had my coaching call. Then I sat down with my husband and I asked him, do you trust me to invest and for me to build something of my own? He didn't hesitate. He was like, go for it. You got this, of course. So that's just the push that I needed. No more waiting, no more wondering what ifs. I went for it. I plugged into the system. I followed the step-by-step training that was provided, and I leaned into my coach and this wonderful community of support that I received. And before I had even finished training, my first check of $525 arrived in the mail. Shortly after that, $270 arrived in the mail. Then the day before our family trip to Florida, a check for $1,550 showed up, and it completely covered our flights and rental car for a family of 4. That moment hit so differently for me because this wasn't just money, it was proof. Proof that I could build something of my own, proof that I didn't have to choose between being present with my kids and also contributing financially. My biggest month so far has been $1,820, and I'm only 6 months in, and I know it's only going to go up from here. But what really excites me the most, more than even the numbers, which are also exciting, it's the options. It's the confidence this has given me. It's knowing I stopped watching other people live the life that I wanted to live, and I went for it myself. I love that I'm building something that is just mine that is going to create options for my family's future.
Hey everyone, we are Janelle and Kendra. We are moms, sisters, and registered nurses from Saskatchewan, Canada. We started this business September 2024. Kendra was on her third mat leave. I was headed on to my third mat leave. And even with good paying jobs, we just weren't where we wanted to be financially. No. We both have husbands that work on the road. Janelle's husband's a hockey coach. Mine works on mine. He's gone for 2 weeks at a time. So we needed to find something that was flexible, something that we could do from home while we're managing the households on our own. So we found this, and we're so thankful we started. We were able to make over 50K in our first year, and never in our wildest dreams did we think that would be a reality for us. No. We had seen so many other moms achieving it, and we're just so happy we took the leap. We not only have gained so much personal growth, but we feel some financial breathing room, and we're genuinely just so excited for the future we're going to be able to provide for our families using this business.
I'm Ashley from British Columbia, Canada, and I was a stay-at-home mom for 19 years, and I also helped my husband run and operate a residential construction company. And as our boys grew up and started moving out, we really started looking at our retirement options, and we realized very quickly that with my 19-year resume gap and my husband being self-employed, that we needed to do extra so that we could first off actually retire, but also continue to do the activities and the hobbies that we love. Now, although I panicked the first time around and asked for a refund, I finally said yes to this platform because it was legitimate, it was flexible, it could match or exceed a journeyman's wage. And also there was a retirement legacy payment that could be earned well before I was 65. Now, after 2.5 years of doing this, I'm earning an average of $7,000 a month. I am contributing financially and helping my hardworking husband build our future, all without being tethered to my phone 24/7.
Hey, I'm Taylor. I'm an ER nurse and a mom of 2 from Manitoba, Canada. I drained my savings on my first mat leave, and I had no idea how I was ever going to afford another. Was I supposed to now go back to work, save, and then blow it all again? Because as a mom now, I couldn't keep working the same amount of hours or endless overtime without missing out on family time. I knew if nothing changed, I was going to be headed into a lifetime of missed sports games and holidays. Finding this business required me to trust complete strangers, and man, did it ever pay off. My spouse actually said, they're going to stop talking to you right after you invest. And nearly 3 years later, we still talk almost daily. I went all in, followed the system step by step, and I have cut my nursing hours completely in half. I've since taken another mat leave that looked wildly different than my first, earning over $8,000 in 1 month. Didn't happen overnight, but starting put me on a path to way more possibilities than nursing ever could.
Hey, I'm Bram. I'm a dad, I'm a teacher, and I live in Alberta, Canada. A few years ago, my wife and I sat down to do our end of the month budget, and we realized that how we were trending now wasn't going to give us the life that we really envisioned. Not for us and not for our kids. So we started thinking about the possibilities that we could add the value that we were seeking. And it looked like things that we knew, or I knew that I've done, construction or landscaping, or things that we're interested in, like real estate, but those had all the same problems of taking us away from each other and not bringing us more time. Then my son had a very serious medical emergency, and it completely shifted my perspective and my urgency on how we could go about doing this. So I went online and I started researching things, and I bumped into a friend of mine that lives in the same neighborhood that I've known for 20 years. And she had built her own online business while on mat leave, and she was getting all the things that I was searching for. And then I started sending her messages and questions about some of the things that I had found in other platforms and other offers. And she would answer, and how this one that she was using and tapped into was different. So ultimately, the differences were just exactly what I was looking for in this platform that she was running. So I jumped in, and what I found was this Canadian-built platform that had all the things that I wanted. I wanted how to set this all up because I had no idea. And the training was comprehensive, and this mentor and coach that would follow me through the duration of my business, and this community of support and people that would not just cheer you on, but help you out. And it was nonstop, the benefits. And the biggest one was that I didn't see all of these benefits in any other online platform. And I had looked for almost a year. And the best part for me as a phys ed teacher is the flexibility that you could do 10 minutes there, or 20 minutes there, or 30 minutes, or after your kids are in bed. And that was all I needed to do to run and operate my own online business. So no one's gonna rush you here. You're going to get context. You're going to get details. You're going to get your questions answered. I'm glad you're here.
Hi, we're Nicole and Kate. We're two sisters from the East Coast of Canada. And about a year ago, we were looking for a way to bring in extra income without sacrificing time with our kids. That was really important to us.
Yeah.
We didn't want something that added more pressure or pulled us away from family life. We wanted flexibility and something that actually made sense long term.
Yeah, when we first found this, we were so excited, but also really, really nervous. The unknown felt huge, big enough that we actually refunded.
Yep. But after we walked away, we couldn't stop thinking about it. Something kept pulling us back.
So instead of brushing that feeling off, we started asking more questions. We had open, honest conversations with our coaches. No pressure, no hype, just real answers. And the more we understood the business and the potential behind it, the more our fear really started to quiet down.
Yep. At some point, our mindset shifted from what if this doesn't work to what if it does? And that shift changed everything for us. And we share this because if you're here right now, chances are something about this opportunity already caught your attention.
So you don't need to have everything figured out. Curiosity is enough to start. Yep. Our goal today is simply to just give you clarity so you can decide what makes sense for you.
Hi, I'm Joette, a mom of 4 and a brand new grandma from Ontario, Canada. I desperately needed a way to help my family financially, but I didn't want to miss out on my kids' lives or put that financial pressure on my husband. So when I came across this opportunity, it ended up being the perfect solution. Everything was already in place, the training, the tools, the support, which allowed me to work in the pockets of my day without sacrificing time with my family. Fast forward to today, I'm not only contributing financially, but I'm actually out earning my husband on some days, which I never thought I was capable of doing before. This system has truly changed everything. If you've been looking for a way to support your family without sacrificing your life, this is worth exploring.
So at this point, most people are thinking, okay, I get it. I'm starting to understand the structure. I understand the business model, and I see how all the pieces are fitting together. And I see that this is working for real people. And then the next logical question becomes, what do I need to do if I want to explore this fully?
Yeah, so that's where our $149 USD refundable program fee comes in. And we want to be super clear about this part. This step exists for one reason. It's all about clarity. Yeah. So this is just the mini webinar, which is an overview of our program. And the $149 is going to get you the deep dive.
Yeah, and here's what you get access to. So the companies we partner with, the products and services we earn on, the compensation plans is explained in detail, the different ways people can get started, and the training and how this done for you sales system works and what your role looks like in real life.
Okay, these are the important things we need you to know right now in this process. So when you pay that $149, you're going to get 30 days to review everything. And that's important because it means you don't have to guess and you're not deciding off of a short video. You're going to see the entire full picture. And if you decide it's not for you, you can request your $149 back within that 30-day window.
Yeah, and if you choose to book a one-on-one coaching call during those 30 days, that call is a real coaching session and our coaches are paid for their time. So once a coaching call has taken place, the $149 is no longer refundable, and that's simply because you've received personalized time, support, and guidance from a real person.
Yeah, exactly. And you can absolutely review the information prior to your call and then decide when you want to book your coaching call. And when you decide to move forward, that same $149 is going to cover that coaching call, your business setup, getting plugged in, plus the systems, training, and mentorship for life. So we don't have any monthly fees for you to stay active in our platform.
Yeah, and this $149 doesn't lock you into starting your business. It's just an information gathering stage so that you can get all of the clarity you need to make a smart, informed decision.
Exactly. And also, please note that our $149 program fee is in USD because we're a global platform and USD is the most widely recognized currency. And if you decide to start your business, your commissions would be paid in your own country's currency.
You might be wondering why there's a $149 program fee to learn the companies, the products, and the compensation plans in more detail. And honestly, that's a totally fair question. So we have hundreds of people reaching out for information every single day, and the system has been running successfully for a decade. And if we tried to walk everyone through it one-on-one, we would never be off of our phones.
Yeah.
So instead, we've automated the whole process.
Yeah, and again, you guys, the $149 gives you full organized access to all the details, how the business works, the products, comp plans, what getting started actually looks like without feeling rushed or scattered messages. And it also gives you access to a real coach who can answer your questions as you're learning and help you decide if this feels aligned for you. So at the end of the day, it respects your time, respects our time, and allows you to get complete information.
Yep. Also, this has been proven time and time again that when you pay for things, you pay attention. So you've spent money on it, which shows to us and to yourself that it's important to you. And again, we like to work with people who are highly interested and ready to start building legitimate income online.
Yeah, so think about it like this, you guys. Imagine if you got a free workout program online. You might do it, you might not do it. But let's say on the flip side, you pay $200 for a workout plan. You're way more likely to pay attention and take action on that.
Yeah, and remember, there's no risk. You have 30 days to go through everything thoroughly, connect with your coach, explore the business community, and make a fully informed decision for yourself.
Okay, you guys, so this is for you if you're tired of trading time for money and not ever truly getting ahead, and if you're not interested in working for minimal payout and you have zero interest in bugging family and friends to create income online. It's for you if you want to earn extra, but you don't have a product or a service to make money on, and if you want a clear, proven path with coaching and mentorship.
Yeah, and before anyone ever pays the $149, people usually fall into one of two categories. Some people feel really cautious. They have questions. They want to make sure it's legitimate, and they want to fully understand what they're stepping into. And then on the other side, other people feel super excited. This is what they've been looking for. They're super curious, and they want to see the whole picture, how it works, and both are completely normal.
Yeah, you guys, so instead of hearing from us, we want you to hear directly from some of our members and how they felt before and what ultimately helped them to make that decision to move forward with the 149.
Okay, from Jenny Smith. I watched for months and kept seeing women earning 4 and 5 figures consistently, and I was literally sick to my stomach thinking about going back to a job that took me away from my kids so much. I knew I needed something different and that only I could change my circumstances.
Yeah, and then next is from Erin Turnbull. I was majorly skeptical, but knowing it was tax registered helped me gain trust that I could get the refund if I wanted it. I paid it because I was curious, but more importantly, because I had never followed through with any free guide or training before. So putting money on the line helped me take it seriously and treat it like a real option.
You betcha. Okay, so Jenna Simpson. I finally came across something that felt real and relatable. When it came to the 149, I reminded myself that I spent that amount without skipping a beat on gas, groceries, sports fees. This was a chance to jump into something that could be life-changing, and I was ready.
Yeah, and the last one, Jennifer Johnson. I was so curious. I wanted to be on a beach in Mexico working on my own schedule. Don't we all, girl? I was skeptical at first and worried it wasn't legit, but my husband was the voice of reason and said, just do it. They're offering you a full refund. You have nothing to lose, and the rest is history. So as we wrap up, we want to bring this back to where we started. At the beginning of this webinar, we talked about that feeling of wanting more, and not because your life is bad, not because you're doing anything wrong, but because you don't want to stay in the exact same place forever.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe you want more flexibility. Maybe you want more income. Maybe you just want to feel like you have options. That's why this next step exists. Not to lock you into anything, but to give you access to everything so that you can see for yourself and make a real decision.
So here's exactly what happens next. Pay your 149. As soon as you pay, you're going to be sent an email from our back-end tech team. That's going to give you access to our detailed pre-coaching videos. Go through everything, connect with your coach, explore our business community. If you love it, you can start, and if it's not for you, you can get your refund back.
Yeah, and this step simply allows you to do your due diligence so you can make a fully informed decision. So if you're ready to explore, do the deep dive, take your time, ask your questions, and decide from clarity, and we'll see you on the inside.